focusing on the tremendously exciting Group E, where Szolnoki Olaj from Hungary have travelled to play MHP Riesen Ludwigsburg. Well, the home side have got off to the worst possible start to the group. They've lost their opening 2 matches, but it hasn't prevented a whole host of supporters coming in to cheer them on this evening to try and get them over the line on game day 3. But both matches they have played have been hugely exciting, that have gone right down to the wire. As we just have a look at what's already happened in Group E, as you can see, Partizan just about edged out Szolnoki by 2 points, and a good win for Besiktas Sompo Japan against AEK in Greece as well. Not a easy place to go to at all. That's a really solid start for them. They've gone 4-0 in their Basketball Champions League campaign then so far. Well, as for the Hungarian visitors this evening, they lost heavily on game day 1, but they bounced back very impressively with a dramatic victory on game day 2. One feels, looking at the table there, that this is a very important game for the home side especially, just for them to settle down into the competition more than anything else. You never really feel as though you properly started in a tournament until you get that first victory on the scoreboard. Well, when both MHP and Szolnoki Olaj saw that they were in Group E, they probably couldn't believe their luck, as many people have labelled it the infamous Group of Death. Highly competitive encounters played in some of the noisiest and most hostile atmospheres in Europe will be a regular occurrence in the group. As we take a look at the 2 rosters, and they have in their ranks a potential candidate for top scorer in the Basketball Champions League this season in shooting guard David Voboda. The Hungarian international really elevated his game in recent months to the very top level, and I don't think anyone can argue that he's the undisputed leader of the team. Has scored 27 points over the first 2 games, also weighed in with 10 assists as well. As we take a look at the home side's roster, which has changed almost entirely in the summer, so it may well just take a little bit of time for all the new players to bed in and start gelling with each other. But their coach, John Patrick, well, he's remained in charge, and that means one thing is guaranteed, and that is that the German team will continue to hassle and fight for every single ball. Their intensity and their energy levels be very, very difficult to match, and they'll look just to suck the life out of teams they come up against. The big player for Ludwigsburg is their centre, Jack Cooley. He may not be the biggest, and he's not a huge threat outside the paint, but was a real fans' favourite last year at Unicaya Malaga. And he really just sums up John Patrick's mentality in terms of fighting for every single ball. So we're just going to complete the formalities here before we get underway in about 5 minutes or so. Teams will just be introduced to the crowd, and it is a good crowd as well that's come here. Not the biggest of arenas, but can hold just under 5,500 people for basketball matches. Relatively new stadium, having opened just in October of 2009. Yeah, the atmosphere will really ramp up when the home team is announced onto the court. There is Tekele Cotton. It's such a wonderful idea, the Basketball Champions League, and such a great time to play matches as well, midweek. People can just leave work and come straight here to cheer on their side and watch some really good quality basketball. Try and inspire the next generation as well. Families can come out not too late to bring children along. Well, I mentioned that MHP Ludwigsburg had two incredible matches to start their regular season. On game day one, they were arguably involved in the most dramatic fixture across the whole board against Partizan here in Germany. A remarkable finish that saw Stefan Bershevich throw down a 2 in the very last second of the match to beat the buzzer and give Partizan a 65-64 point victory. Really would have hurt the German side, that one. I suppose even though they lost, they no doubt took a little bit of confidence over the fact that they ran a very strong opponent so close and very nearly ended up winning the game. There is Jack Cooley, you just saw go through there, number 45. Certainly one to keep an eye on this evening. Their most efficient player on the court on game day 2 was Jack Cooley. And after their 1-point defeat on game day 1, they're probably still trying to get over their defeat on game day 2 to Stelmet Zielona. They led by 12 at one stage, and they still had a 7-point lead with just over 4 minutes to go. But it is amazing in basketball just how quickly the game can change. It looks as though one team is running away with it, and then all of a sudden, a couple of blocks and a couple of makes down the other end, it's a completely different ball game. And that was the case for Ludwigsburg on game day 2. 7 points up with 4 minutes remaining, but they did capitulate somewhat in the closing stages. They ended up losing that match 72 points to 70. So they'll be very, very eager to register their first victory. The Hungarian side, they will be more than used to playing in fairly hostile conditions. It's always a tremendous atmosphere in Hungary. As we look at their starting 5, David Vovoda, you can see there, number 9, the shooting guard. He is their big-time player. And also, they'll be looking to the likes of Milos Borisov, who collects a lot of boards for them and will try and be a handful off the glass. Here's the home side's starting 5. Johan Diemen, you can see there, the number 32. He is a key man on the glass for them, averaging 8 rebounds a game in the opening 2 matches. There is John Patrick, who's been around a long time. He's got a lot of experience as the American head coach. He was a half-decent player himself as well, John Patrick. He never quite made it in the NBA, so he forged a career playing in Germany and Japan. Did suffer terribly with knee injuries though, John Patrick, which slightly curtailed his playing career. He was happy that he was able to turn to coaching. Much like his playing career, hasn't ventured outside Germany or Japan. He just had 1 year in Japan for Toyota Albach. So we're just about ready to go. It will be Ludwigsburg in the all-yellow strip, and Szolnoki of Hungary in the all-red. Terrific atmosphere already though in the game, and it's not even started. There is Milos Borisov, you can see, big figure of a man, and started well in the Basketball Champions League. So here we go then. Let's just go and high-five each other. Sportsmanlike start to the game, and game day 3 then is just about to get underway. Riesen Ludwigsburg still searching for their first victory in the Basketball Champions League. It will be the visitors that control the tip. defense. Here is Rodashov. Scored on a travel. You can barely hear yourself think in the arena at the moment. They've all got these little drums that they can bang, and I'm sure they'll still be banging them in about an hour and a half's time. He tries to hook it in with the left hand, but just about able to grab the defensive board is Ryan Wright. Some confusion who the ball last came off. I think it is going to be Szolnoki that have possession. It is. Voda. We're looking just to try and get the ball in his hands as often as they can. Only 26 years of age, averaging 13.5 points already in his opening 2 games. He is a prolific scorer when he gets going. Great defense by the home side. Just 4 seconds left on the shot clock as well here, so they're going to have to be quick, the Hungarians. Inbound, they've got to get the shot away. It's down to 1, and he just gets it off on time. And the offensive board is grabbed by Popovic. So they'll have a reset here. And stolen away. And Ludwigsburg have started really well on the defensive end, and a fast break down the other. And the first points go the way of Tekele Cotton. But they can credit the work they did down the other end for that one. In the 3-2 zone here, tries to go all the way. Lovely pass, and a foul is called. It was a good foul. Would have been a simple 2, so at least make them earn it from the line. Ryan Wright, 29 years of age, standing at 6'9". This is with the first. Been all over Europe, has Ryan Wright. Played in Turkey, Finland, Latvia, before moving across to Hungary. Misses both, so that's what I mean by a good foul. It would have just been a simple layup too, otherwise he forces him to shoot a couple of throws, and he's missed them both. So Gray inside. Does well, rejected, but is fouled. And Johan Tiemann will now shoot a couple. Ryan Wright is just going to take a seat. First change, and Adam Toth is the man that's come into the game. He joined in June, did Johan Tiemann, signed a 2-year deal. And the way he started, they'll be very delighted to have him as well, averaging 9 points and 6 rebounds in his opening 2 games, and makes both free throws as well. So a 4-0 lead at the start of this game. Inside the opening 2 minutes, and the backcourt violation, they've turned it over. Next to Popovic, the man. It's been a good bright start from Ludwigsburg. Look to try and get the ball into this man's hands as often as they can. Where's Washburn? Martin knocks it out for the long 3 and almost makes it, rebounded by Milos Bodashov. Won't be the last time I say that tonight. Voda, it's the man they want to be shooting threes, but on target this time. Washburn. Great. defense, but Washburn drives to the hoop and somehow grabs his own boards. He gets a 14-second reset out of it. And Johan Thiemann drives and can't make it. But he's given it straight back. It's really sloppy, and he'll shoot a couple. They just haven't woken up yet at the Hungarian side. They did well to grab the initial rebound, and then they just gave it straight back to Ludwigsburg with a really poor pass. In fairness to him, I think he may well have been going out of bounds. That's why he just had to try and release the ball. But Johan Thiemann has started well here, and he'll go back to the line. He made both the first time he was there. Shooting at 90% from the line coming into this match. Made all three in the initial stages here. Make that all four. And it's 6-0 to the German side. Just the start that they were after. Always so difficult when you come into a game in front of your own fans when the pressure is on. The pressure just to get a win on the board is on. In the early minutes here, they're reacting really well, not only offensively but on the defensive end as well. Milos Borisov tries to get Szolnoki going, but he's off target. Can't buy one at the moment for Hungarians. Craig, lovely pass, extra pass to Washburn. Thought about the three. Oh, nicely done, no defence anywhere to be seen. And it's an 8-0 lead now. Another good foul. This time from Tekule Cotton. Once again, that would have been a pretty simple layup. And they'll force Szolnoki to get back to the line and try and get the scoreboard ticking here. Barnes is the man that will shoot, and still they can't get it to drop. Standout player for the University of Maine was Troy Barnes, and again they've missed both free throws. And still the score remains 8-0. It's been a horrible start for the Hungarian champions here. Washburn looking to try and rub salt into their wounds. Kelvin Martin, difficult pass, and now there's a fast break opportunity down the other end, but great transitional defense from Riesen Ludwigsburg. Forced a long three and makes it, finally. Szolnoki off the mark, and it's Troy Barnes who missed both from the line, but he makes his first from behind the arc. Taken them a while, but 4.5 minutes in, they have finally got off the mark. A lovely pass and easy put away for Jack Cooley. They've really got to tighten up defensively here. Szolnoki, way too many guys just being left to run free. See the difference in the intensity of the Ludwigsburg defense compared to Szolnoki, and Cooley grabs the board this time. Ah, it's beautiful. Kelvin Martin this time. Sidestepped his man like he wasn't even there. And the soft touch at the rim as well. An offensive foul has been called there. So they've turned it over once again. This was Kelvin Martin down the other end. They're playing against traffic cones at the moment. Just not moving, they're not following their men, are Szolnoki Olaj. Goes for the long three and makes it. Nothing but. And it's already a 12-point lead here. And unsurprisingly, a timeout has been called. Need to try and just stop the rut here. Try and listen in to what he's got to say for his side.
Free throw, 3 points, come on. Easy, good defense, no easy score, okay, no problem. Come on. One more foul, no bonus, one more foul. Nicht ganz so groß, wie es heute auf dem Spielfeld steht.
Pretty happy, I think, John Patrick, with the way his side have started. Wright is back in the game. Tries to set a screen. Again, the Ludwigsburg defence is terrific, and they force a difficult shot, and Jack Cooley is there again to bring down the board. Lane and Cooley this time on the offensive board and knocks it down. Been a terrific start for Jack Cooley. Turned it over again. 2v1, McRae. This time it's Brad Losing and Szolnoki have got to try and do something different here. Already a 14-point lead for Ludwigsburg. We've still got 3.5 left to play in the first. Barnes puts up the three, makes his second of the game. Great hands by Cooley, just knocked out, but they will get the ball back here. Last touch, I think, was off Troy Barnes. Cooley really growing into this quarter as well. He started a little quietly in the first couple of minutes, but the last 5 or so, as you can see, 3 from 3, and rebounds as well to match. Here's Vojvoda. Only had 1 field goal attempt so far. Cooley is going to just take a seat for a couple of minutes, which I don't think Szolnoki will mind whatsoever. Barnes thought about the 3 again. He's already made 2, so confidence must be high. Lovely pass, and that's much better. Much better ball movement from Szolnoki. Just wait, be patient, wait for the easy shot rather than just running around aimlessly. So he should have made it, but he's grabbed his own board. Oh my God, how has he missed both of them? He's gone for 2 dunks and rimmed out on both. Top down the other end is fouled, and he will shoot a couple. been terrible from the line of Szolnoki. They still yet to make a free throw so far. That's 5 out of 5 they've missed. And finally, they make one. So 1 from 6 from the line. They trail by 12. Washburn, open 3. This is by quite a way, and Popovic is there to grab the board. Adam Todd goes for the long 2 this time, rims out and rebounded by David McRae, who can bring it away quickly down the other end as well. And a foul is called, I think, on David Voivoda. Just a reaching foul there. We've got 18 seconds on the clock as well. Closing. Clay Cotton is there if he wants it back, but Gonçalves goes for it himself. The shot clock was running down, so was almost forced into it, and now down the other end. Szolnoki do well to make the 2. And they've done well just to restrict the damage here. They're only 10 back now. Milos Bodashov with his first points of the game. Needless foul really from Ryan Wright. Both sides in the penalty now. Seaman will shoot a couple and just about gets the roll. A huge difference in the free throw shooting from the German side to the Hungarians. That's a large reason why there's a 12-point lead at the moment for Ludwigsburg. To try and get this man on the ball more as well. Barely seen David Voivoda so far with Eilingsfield. Right, trying to set a screen. Does well Kinney and goes for the difficult right-hander. And Thiemann is there to grab the board and get them going as well. Down the other end with Brad Losing. Open 3 for Johan Thiemann, not really his game, but instead driving to the rim very much is. And we're into the final 30 seconds of the first quarter. And again, they've extended their advantage to 14 points now, Ludwigsburg. Voivoda had it snatched away, but Szolnoki will retain possession. Just a sea of yellow inside the MHP arena here this evening. They've got 8 seconds on the shot clock. There's 11-second difference between game clock and shot clock here. They will call for a foul, but I think it's an offensive foul by Adam Todd, which he's not entirely happy with. So they've turned it over again here, and Szolnoki. Have they? Yeah, they have. So 16 seconds left in this first quarter. Ignore the shot clock on the right-hand side. That will be reset, so they'll just have the game clock, of course, to shoot the final throw of this first quarter. Washburn goes for the really long 3. Oh, beautiful! He still had plenty of time to shoot it, but decided to throw up the long 3 and made it. And that really sums up the first quarter. Chad Toppert with his first points as well. But it took Szolnoki a long time to wake up there. And they've really paid the penalty as well. 17-point difference in that first quarter. Riesen Ludwigsburg 28, Szolnoki Olaj 11. They missed a load of free throws as well. Just 1 from 6 from the line were the Hungarian side. This will tell a story, the stats. Over 50% field goal percentage from Ludwigsburg, 33 for Szolnoki. 17% though from the line. Rebounds as well, double the amount for the Germans. 12 rebounds to just 6, and turnovers as well, a big difference. Just 1 for Ludwigsburg. Let's listen in to John Patrick if we can. No, we're just going to have a look at the first quarter highlights. They started hot, did Ludwigsburg. They came out firing on all cylinders, determined to get this opening victory of the Basketball Champions League. Troy Barnes has been the main reason why they've got 11 points, really, Szolnoki. He's made a couple of threes. Chad Toppert made a long 3 right at the end of the first quarter as well. Barnes throws one up again and makes it. That was when they were 16 points down. Plays like that, poor on the defensive end from Ryan Wright. Jack Cooley has started well, as you'd expect. Mentioned him just before the match started as a key player for Ludwigsburg. That's exactly the case so far. So second quarter just about to get underway. Can Szolnoki try and get back in this tight? A long way to go yet, of course. Cooley, but Wright does well to knock the ball away, and they come away with the ball with David Vojvoda. Field to Wright. Vojvoda again. You can tell just how keen Ludwigsburg are to make sure that David Vojvoda doesn't get an easy shot. But Jack Cooley has just put a foot out of bounds, so they've turned it over. Have Ludwigsburg, so Szolnoki will get it back. No rush either, still 24 on the shot clock. Vojvoda will inbound. Right, set the screen. He tried to open up the 3. Good ball movement from Szolnoki. The 3 is way off, and Jack Cooley is there to grab yet another defensive board, and now they can come down the other end with Gonçalves. Just too easy, and he's grabbed his own board and puts it away. Kelvin Martin. 5 rebounds already for Kelvin Martin. Open look there, surprised he didn't take it, and ripped away. And now it's 2 against 1 down the other end. Torwin Washburn just a little bit casual, and it's allowed Szolnoki to get men back, but it makes absolutely no difference because Tekele Cotton is there to bank it in. Lovely touch around the hoop. And their lead just gets bigger and bigger at the moment. Listen in.
Alo, a Mošun, četvorka, neđeš, ideju. Johnsi, Vojko Topta iz Homaj, dobija Kunaček. Taktika i faul. Valja. Kini. Ajmo, one more. Free side, Vojvoda.
This is great work by Kelvin Martin. Actually told when he was in high school, Kelvin Martin, that he should perhaps focus on American football rather than basketball, but he was so determined to prove people wrong that he made a real determined effort to make it as a basketball player, and that's exactly what he did. There's Troy Barney. It's up the little floater, but gets it back, Vojvoda, and this time it goes. And finally, David Vojvoda is off the mark. Big expectations surrounding him. And if he fails to fire, then sometimes you struggle to see where the attacking threat is going to come from Szolnoki. An offensive foul has been called, so they've turned it over. Kinney. Trying to feed it into Ryan Wright, but he really overhit the pass there. Tekele Cotton, good hands, and throws it up. Jack Cooley underneath, puts it away. As simple as that for the German side. And their lead is now 21. Really got to give a lot of credit to their work on the defensive end, though. A lot will be said about the way they're going forward. The three is off target, and Losing manages to grab the board. They're really stifling Szolnoki, and one! And it's Cooley again. What a start he has made, Jack Cooley. They just cannot deal with him underneath in the paint. He is an absolute nightmare to deal with. He doesn't give up. He fights for every ball as though it's in the last minute of a decisive 7-game series. And Cooley with the chance to make it a 3-point play. She can't do. Cotton almost grabbed the offensive board. Vojvoda, that's nice, that's better from David Vojvoda. Needs to try and attack in the lane a lot more. Really soft touch underneath, so he's 2 from 5 now. Throwing in influence, Cooley trying to wriggle some space, and oh, he somehow made it as well. Under pressure, and he just cannot miss at the moment, Jack Cooley, and now he's got 12 points for the match already. Open 3 from Eilingsfield. They're more than happy to let him have it, that's why, off target. 23-point lead. Toppert inside for Washburn, way off. First air ball, I think, of the match so far for Wes Washburn. Actually played in the Summer League with the Los Angeles Clippers, did Wes Washburn this year, but did go undrafted in this year's NBA draft. Averaging 6 assists a game, though, at the moment, Wes Washburn. This is the man on fire at the moment. Jack Cooley, 12 points, 6 boards already for him. In rebounds, 17 to 8. The difference. 5 offensive, 12 defensive for Ludwigsburg.
You're at the 4. Chad's going to be following behind this time, okay? All right, so it's our ball, right?
No, we shot an air ball. We're on defense, right?
We're on defense, then pick them up. We have 1 team foul. We have 1 team foul right now, so get up into him. All right?
Hey.
Get back quick. Quick, if they go into
Saying they've still got one team foul to give, so wants his side to get right back into them from the get-go here. It's been a team effort though so far. Cooley with 12 points, Topper with 8, Tekele Cotton with 6. They're all chipping in here. We've got just over 5.5 left, and that basically sums up the match so far for the Hungarian champions. They just inbound straight out of play. Not good enough at the moment from Szolnoki. And the drums are out once again. Topper gives it away. Turned it over, and Kinney fires the early 3 and doesn't get the roll. And the foul is called on Adam Toth, so Ludwigsburg will get the ball back. It's McRae. There's Washburn. To the big man, Johan Thiemann. Difficult shot, great defense. Tried to tap it in, but did well there, Milos Bodashov. Did enough just to make the shot difficult. With Voda, lovely move. Looked as though he was going to go for the floater, instead just wrapped it underneath and banked in the 2. Cut the lead to 21. Washburn out to Cotton. Charges to the lane, and he'll shoot a couple. Will David McRae. Just see the intensity there of McRae, though, so determined to charge to the basket. No one was going to stop him, or they were going to foul him. Well, Szolnoki Olaj have developed really into one of the most successful basketball teams in Hungary over recent years. They've won now 7 Hungarian national championships, as McRae makes the first. And they've also won 6 Hungarian Cups since they earned a spot in the top division back in 1989 now. And they've actually won 3 consecutive Hungarian championships, really turning into the dominant force domestically, although you wouldn't really know that judging on the opening quarter and a half we've seen here. 40 points to 17 they trail. Roy Barnes. And Milos Bodashov, that's a bit better, just a lot more intent to actually get to the basket from Bodashov. That's what we've just seen from David McRae down the other end. There's been a distinct lack of intensity for the Hungarian side so far, but that was a bit better from Milos Bodashov, maybe a sign of things to come. Great ball movement, goes for the long 3, way off. And Barnes does well just to let the ball go out. Bodashov. Try and get Troy Barnes on the ball a bit more as well, as Voda just launches a 3 from way downtown. Doesn't even come close, but again, got to credit the defense from Ludwigsburg. They're forcing that long shot. Whitman is called on the foul. can't top it. Lovely pass inside and rolled in by Thiemann. He's now into double figures, 10 points for Johan Thiemann. Done well to keep it in. Yeah, the foul called on Kelvin Martin. Just a little bit too zealous to get the ball back there, so we will have a 14-second reset here as well, as the shot clock was down to 3. Voda. Ball movement from Bodashov, goes for the long 2. Can he grab the board? Yes, he can, and Eilingsfield puts it away. Good work underneath from Janos Eilingsfield. Still only 25. It's Eilingsfield and rejected, but Thiemann is there again. And he's now joined Jack Cooley on 12 points. Voda into the last couple of minutes of the first half here. David Voda trying to go himself, and the ball just falls beautifully for Thiemann. It's a 2v1, and well, it looked as though he was going to shoot. Instead, he finds Kelvin Martin, and he tucks away the 2, and the lead is back up to 25 now. Good unselfish work from Brad Losing. As Alexa Popovic responds down the other end. Nice idea, trying to find Thiemann underneath. That's where he's been very good. Brad Losing doesn't often give the ball away. It was the 2012 Southern Conference Defensive Player of the Year was Brad Losing when he was at Wofford College. He was also named as a first-team academic All-American, so not just athletic ability in his genes. Try and listen in to what John Patrick has to say.
We have two team fouls. We're not letting guys go around us on the perimeter anymore. You got Gonzo, okay? So we have 1, 2, 3. Okay. 4, 5. Okay. They got the ball right here. We need to pick up. They have 2 team fouls. Is everybody good to press? Yep. Try to take the ball out of the hands of Voda and get up into Whitman, okay? Yep. Step up on the pick and roll. Let's go 2 on offense. Look inside. If we don't have it inside, and seal on the other side.
Hey, let's go. 1, 2, 3. Let's go 2 in there.
Keen to stress again, John Patrick, that his side have still got 2 team fouls to give. So he's very adamant that they need to press, they need to get right up in the face of, he actually singled out David Voda and Christian Wittmann. Don't want to give them any time at all. And that's exactly what David McRae has done on Voda. Definitely recognise that he is the potential danger man for Szolnoki. There is Whitman, who goes round the outside, really unselfish. Good pass, should have made it. Oh, but he's won it back, Milos Bodashov. Great work underneath from Bodashov. Looked as though they'd thrown the chance away, but great work from the big number 15. 4 rebounds for him already. And now Washburn's given it away, and Borisov down the other end is fouled and will shoot 2, but really it should have been an and 1 opportunity there for Milos Bodashov. It wasn't a particularly difficult shot to make, even though he was fouled. Just a little lackadaisical from Wes Washburn. Bodashov will shoot a couple. Into the final 48 seconds in this first half. Averaging 10.5 points and 5 rebounds in his first 2 matches. Milos Bodashov makes both. Montenegro, not Hungary, is Bodashov. Washburn, Jack Cooley, they just managed to keep him a bit quieter over the last minute or so. There's the foul though. Either side in the penalty, so they'll have to rebound. They do get a 14-second reset though. Tekele Cotton gets his hands on the ball. Potential 2-for-1 opportunity here for Ludwigsburg as Washburn charges to the net with his left hand and makes a really difficult shot. Somehow managed to hook it in. Should be the last play of the game as Voda. Well, that was as difficult as it gets, and now Jack Cooley, I don't think, realised that there was just 1 second left on the shot clock. Was a little late to get the full court shot away, but well, you can't be critical at all, really, of MHP Riesen Ludwigsburg. It's been a tremendously impressive first half from them, and they lead Szolnoki Olaj 48 points to 27 after the first quarter. After the first half, sorry, but it was the first quarter that did the damage. 28 points to 11 in that first quarter. They just started so slowly, did the Hungarian champions. They've definitely got better in that second quarter. They were shooting at 33% in the first, they're now at 50. Their free throws, though, causing them problems. 38% from the line. 10 turnovers compared to 7 as well for Szolnoki. So all the stats really point in favour of Ludwigsburg. Johan Thiemann has been terrific, as has Jack Cooley. They've both got 12 points apiece. But Cooley as well on the glass with 6 rebounds. Tekele Cotton with a couple of steals, as does Christian Wittmann. You can see 12 points for Thiemann and Cooley. Chad Toppert as well chipping in with 8. Milos Bodashov has been a handful, both on the glass and his scoring as well. 8 points and 4 rebounds for him. As we take a look at the highlights. We started so slowly, did Szolnoki. There was barely any defence at all. Troy Barnes was the man keeping them in it early doors in the first quarter. He knocked down a couple of threes just to try and get them going. It took them nearly 5 minutes to actually make their first points for the Hungarians. Chad Toppert has made a couple of 3-pointers as well for his 8 points. It was Barnes again, just to try and keep them in touch at one stage. But every time Szolnoki went down and scored, needless to say, Ludwigsburg just did exactly the same down the other end. Jack Cooley, they just cannot handle him underneath. In the paint, he is such a handful. Thiemann thought about the 3, instead just charges to the lane and makes the easy layup. That's the beauty of this Ludwigsburg performance so far in the first half, though. It's not just reliant on 1 or 2 men. Everyone has chipped in and played their part. Tekele Cotton with 6 points. Kelvin Martin with 6. Cooley with 12. Thiemann with 12. Washburn's got 2. McRae's got 2. They're all contributing on the offensive end. There was Tekele Cotton for a couple of assists as well. But look how easy it is. Just no one going with Jack Cooley. Would have thought they would have learnt their lesson, having watched him in the first quarter. Here he is again with the and one, which he missed, unfortunately for him. Again, when he got underneath, at times there was only one outcome. Never looked like missing, and there simply wasn't good enough defense on him to force a miss. Definitely was a better performance from Szolnoki in the second quarter. Made much more of a fist of things out there. Only lost the second quarter by 4 points compared to 17 in the first. Really nicely done to Johan Thiemann. David Voda, the number 9. They just haven't been able to get their main shooter in the game at all, really. Good work from Eilingsfield off the glass there. Again, Thiemann underneath, just collecting boards and putting away pretty simple tip-ins as well. Almost made a mess of this one, but good work from Kelvin Martin and from Brad Losing. Washman just a little lackadaisical there. Milos Borisov really was the standout man for Szolnoki in that first period. 8 points, 4 boards for him. That's how the first half went, and they're in control at the moment. Do join us again for the second half in 5 minutes or so. Welcome back, everybody, to the MHP Arena here in Germany. About 12 miles north of Stuttgart is where Ludwigsburg is here in Germany. And so far it's been a bit of a clinic from the home side. Well and truly in control of this fixture at the half-time break. It is 48 points to 27 they lead, thanks mainly to the opening quarter of the match where they just absolutely ran riot, did Riesen Ludwigsburg. 28 points to 11. They won the first quarter by, and the second was a lot better from the Hungarian champions Szolnoki Olaj. They managed to reduce the deficit to 20 points to 16 in the second quarter, but Johan Thiemann and Jack Cooley have very much been causing the damage for the home side. They've both got 12 points each. Cooley with 6 rebounds as well. Milos Borisov is the man that's been doing the damage for Szolnoki Olaj. He's got 8 points and 4 boards at the moment, but he needs some assistance. They need to get the likes of David Vojvoda and Christian Wittmann in the game a lot more than they did so in the first period. Troy Barnes was chipping in. He started well with a couple of threes, but that's what he's been limited to. It's very, very difficult at the moment to see where Szolnoki can try and get back into this match, but there is a long way to go. And Ludwigsburg have a bit of a habit of throwing matches away as well. Said about their opening match in which they lost by 1 point to Partizan, when Partizan scored a 2-pointer in the very last second of the game. And in their second match against Stelmet Zielona, they actually threw away a 12-point lead at one stage, did Ludwigsburg. They led by 7 points with 4 minutes to go, and they still ended up losing that match 72 points to 70 in the end. We are just about to get the second half underway, so important here for Szolnoki to start well. You feel they've got to try and get a bit of a lead and get a few stops in the early minutes here of the third quarter. Szolnoki Olaj, they've played 2 matches as well, of course, in the Basketball Champions League. They arguably had the toughest fixture going on match day 1. They had to travel to Greece to take on Ike. And it was, well, just a nightmare start really for the Hungarian side. They went down 92 points to 49 in their opening match. They only shot 35% from 2-point range, and spoke about their free throw troubles today. They also had free throw troubles on game day 1 as well, and they've turned it over early on here, and it's down the line as a 2v1. It's unselfish. Perhaps he should have been a little bit more selfish and gone for it himself. Instead he's turned it over, and Milos Borisov goes down the other end and rolls in the 2, and now he is into double figures. 10 points for the big number 15. Thiemann is fouled. You've got to give Szolnoki Olaj a lot of credit for the way they actually bounced back on match day 2 after that bit of a drubbing they received on game day 1 against Ike. They did defeat Dinamo Sassari on game day 2, and a travel is called. Offensive foul, they'll turn it over. Yeah, they headed into the final quarter on game day 2 all level, but Szolnoki did edge out their opponents just about, 16 points to 15 in the fourth quarter to win the game by a solitary point, 73-72, to claim their first ever Basketball Champions League victory, something that Ludwigsburg are obviously still looking for. At the moment it's looking good for them as the shot clock goes down to 3 seconds, and he will shoot a couple. Better from David Vojvoda. Has got 6 points so far, Vojvoda, but he was someone that was potentially thought about being one of the highest scorers in the Basketball Champions League this season. makes the first. Rebounded by Kelvin Martin. Well, the lead now just 18. Have been down as much as 25 in that first half. A 14-second reset here. Is Washburn. He's only gone for one shot behind the arc and actually had an air ball, did Wes Washburn. His teamman finally misses, but somehow manages to find Kelvin Martin, and even when he misses, he grabs his own board, and not only that, he assists Kelvin Martin to roll in the two. And we're back up to a 20 points lead for the German side. Goes for three, makes it. Nice from Milos Borisov, who looks full of confidence at the moment. 13 points, he's the highest point scorer on both sides now, Borisov. Teeman gives it away, and an opportunity to come down the other end again here. Borisov lines up the three, just can't make it, would have been back-to-back, and the lead would have just been 14 all of a sudden. And a reach-in foul is called on Kinney. Chad Toppert had a couple of threes in the first half, did Toppert. Jack Cooley underneath, he doesn't miss from there. What a match he's having at the moment, Jack Cooley. 14 points to go with his 6 rebounds already. And we're only 3 minutes into the third quarter. Troy Barney's going for his third three straight in. He's been mightily impressive from beyond the arc as Troy Barney's. They just need to try and get the ball to him a bit more often, you feel. And the lead is down to 16 now, so they are just making a little inroad into their lead at the moment. But that's really good, and Jack Cooley just completely open. Just cannot allow him that much space underneath, and I'm surprised that he's allowed to 16 points for Jack Cooley. He's 8 from 8. A couple of changes then for Szolnoki. Work from Voivoda, sets up the three, but it's gonna miss, and the rebound is grabbed by David Gonçalves. There's Washburn. Gonçalves trying to use the screen set by Jason Boone. Good ball movement, extra pass, three from Tekeli Cotton, and count it. Just 2 seconds left on the shot clock. And the lead back up to 21. Had a good game as Tekeli Cotton, only 23 years of age. He was playing for Wichita State. Signed for Ludwigsburg back in 2015 now. Whitman to Voivoda, goes for the long two and makes it. Nicely done from Voivoda. Well, he may be a little happier only a little. They are still 19 back as Washburn is fouled. He's a tricky little customer, Wes Washburn. With a good change of direction, not easy to stop. The changes then for Ludwigsburg as well. David McRae and Brad Losing come in as Choppett is now into double figures. 10 points for Chad Toppett. Toff, good defending on the inside, but he's just too powerful for him. Grabs his own ball, but it's ripped away. And it's 4 against 3 for the time being as Losing does well to find his man. The little floater doesn't get the roll. And the foul is called. So Jason Boone is going to go to the line. Has played for coach John Patrick at a number of different clubs actually. Clearly a favourite of the coach. He actually left New York University as the 7th highest scorer in their history, did Jason Boone at the time. The long three. Tekele Cotton can bring it forward for Riesen Ludwigsburg. Losing trying to orchestrate things, but good defense from Troy Barney's on the perimeter. That's a bit better from Szolnoki, a little bit more intensity to their work on the defensive end. Again, Jason Boone will go and shoot a couple. 1 from 2 so far. Doesn't get the roll either. 1 from 3 now. He spent most of his career in Germany. Jason Boone. About as athletic as they come, isn't he? To look at him. Second, so 22-point lead. And even though Szolnoki are playing a little bit better than the first half, they're still not really eating into the German advantage here. It's Bodashov. If anyone's going to, he's almost looked the most likely. Sets the screen for Wovoda. Wovoda from way downtown as the shot clock is ticking down, and Borisov grabs the ball, tries to bank it in. Maybe shouldn't have done that, but they still get the ball back. And a 14-second reset. They've got 7 to try and get the shot away. The little floater doesn't go. And they missed a handful of opportunities there to the Hungarian side. And when you're 22 points down with 3 minutes to go in the third, you can't really afford to miss all these chances. It's Boone underneath and dunks it away. And Jason Boone all of a sudden is having a big impact on this third quarter. Here's Whitman to Wovoda. Wovoda throws up the floater, is fouled and will shoot a couple. Johan Tiemann, who's been a little quieter. Tries to set the screen for Brad Losing, and gives it away, turns it over, and Vojvoda was fouled whilst bringing the ball away. Both sides in the penalty now. Vojvoda makes both of them and cuts the lead to 20 again. Can they just go on a 10-0 run or something in the final 2 and a bit minutes here, just to try and make Ludwigsburg really edgy and nervy as this game goes on, and an offensive foul is called. They've turned it over again. That's really hurt them a lot as well this match. They've turned the ball over quite often. Now Szolnoki, certainly more than Ludwigsburg. Careful of any foul now, both sides, with both being in the penalty, but Johan Tiemann doesn't care about that. He goes straight to the hoop. Knocks down a 2 as Troy Barney's goes for his 3, and he makes it. 3 threes for Troy Barney. Again, the lead is back under 20, 19 the lead now. Things can change so quickly. They can just have a little run for the final minute and a half. Get a block here, and they can't do it. Where's Washburn? Knocks down his second basket. So we've got 3 assists as well. Where's Washburn? It's Kinney. Kinney, really good. Under pressure from Chad Toppert. Cotton. Oh, really great hands and a great touch at the hoop as well. Just 2 seconds left on the clock, and Chad Toppert has now got 12 points today. A terrific ball handling from Chad Toppert. 3 from 3 from 2-point range. The ball is just ripped out of his hands, and Kinney thought that they should have got the ball back, but in fact he's turned it over. There's an opportunity here for a 2-for-1 right at the end of this third quarter with 38 seconds left on the game clock. They can get one away quickly here, which is what Washburn tries to do, but instead he's turned it over. Here's Vojvoda. Vojvoda, great hands, and tries to float it in. And Washburn is there to grab the board. This will probably be the last possession of the third quarter, and they've got themselves a 21-point lead. No shot clock here. There's 5 seconds left on the game clock, and he rolls it in. Tekele Cotton now into double figures as well for the game. 11 points for the number 3. Beautiful touch with the right hand for Tekele Cotton. So at the end of the third quarter, no real inroads made from the Hungarian side, and they find themselves 23 points behind going into the final quarter. 70 points to 47. See whether he can listen in to what words of wisdom he's got for his side to get back in this match.
Okay. Go. Boya.
look at C, and we need the 5 guy to come up faster on C to set this and roll down the middle and get the connectors. Okay, and then just meet the ball inside and go up. They're breaking down on the pick and roll. So see if we have anything on C.
So, final quarter underway. And a bit of a mountain to climb for the 3-time consecutive Hungarian champions, who now find themselves 25 points behind. It's just been relentless from Ludwigsburg, it really has, and surely they can't lose it from here. They've made a bit of a mess out of their opening couple of matches in the Basketball Champions League, but never have they had such an advantage, and manages to get the roll there to knock down to 3. Charges to the lane, but he has it ripped out of his hand. Well, Riesen Ludwigsburg, they play in the Basketball Bundesliga. But they also lost in the quarter-final of the German Cup and failed to get out of the group stage of the Euro Cup. The long 3 from Kinney goes, trying to make it back-to-back threes. His Tekele Cotton is fouled and just couldn't quite get the shot to go, but he will shoot a couple. His influence has just grown and grown in this match as Tekele Cotton, 13 points already, he's 6 from 7. Jack Cooley still leads the way with 16 points, but he's just gone a little cold. Absolutely on fire in the first quarter and a half or so. Jack Cooley now moves on to 15 points. Whitman. Haven't seen enough of Christian Whitman, really. Bodishov. Oh, he's going all over the place, and Tekele Cotton, great footwork just to prevent himself from going out of bounds, and Barnes is called on the foul. Jack Cooley is now back in the game. It's Washburn. Cooley, great ball movement. Tekele Cotton for 3, makes it. Cannot miss at the moment, Tekele Cotton. And he moves on to 18 points. What a game it's been for the number 3. Here's Vojvoda. Trying to respond down the other end. Doesn't get the roll. And Cotton is there this time to grab the board. He had a wide open look there, did Wes Washburn. Thought about the 3, decided against it, but drew the foul in the end anyway. Almost kept it in, but it was just his left foot that went out, so he's turned the ball over. Not really what you need when you're 27 points behind. Jack Cooley, this is where he wants it, this is where he's dangerous. And he has been absolutely unstoppable inside the paint today, Jack Cooley. And it makes another one. And at the moment it's a battle between Cooley and Cotton to see who will register the most points come the end of this. They've both got 18 at the moment. Salves into Cooley again, spots the man out wide for the open 3 and knocks it down again. He's not just a big man, is Jack Cooley, he's got vision as well. And it's Brad Losing that knocks down the 3 from beyond the arc. Bodashov, good pass from him to Troy Barnes, who steps back to make sure it is a 3. Rims out, Cooley there on the glass this time. Losing. Gonsalves tries to bank it in, does so. And they're running away with it in this 4th quarter. The lead is up to 33 now. So it's a couple of drubbings that Szolnoki have taken. They lost heavily on game day 1 to Ike. And it looks as though they're going to lose almost as heavily on game day 3 as well. So coming up next for MHP Riesen Ludwigsburg, they travel to Belgium, so a nice fairly short trip for them to take on Proximus Spiru. The next match here in Germany is on game day 5 against Ike, so that'll be a tough one for them. Milos Bodashov to Ryan Wright. clock down to 3, and they panicked a little bit. It was knocked out of play. They are going to get the ball back, but they're just going to have 1 second to inbound and try and get the shot away here. The shot clock violation, so they'll turn the ball over. Good defense again from the German side, and he must be a very happy man, John Patrick, today. There would have been a lot of pressure on him and his side coming into this game as Topper tries to knock down to 3. Rebound grabbed by David Vojvoda. Vojvoda again to Christian Whitman, who can't make it, and last touch was off Ryan Wright, and it will be a Ludwigsburg ball. Ryan Wright had a really good season last year with Falco KC Sombathli. He was a new signing in the summer, along with James Kinney as well, for Szolnoki, who knows the domestic league inside out. So those two were expected to acclimatise relatively quickly, and they have done so. Really nicely done with the left hand from David McRae. And we're into the final 5 minutes of the match. 35 points the difference. Milos Bodoshov, I think his foot was just outside. It would have been a 3, but the rebound is grabbed by Brad Losing, and they're looking for the fast break down the other end. It was an open 3 for McRae, turned it down, and the extra pass pays off as Jack Cooley is there again. And he's now into the 20-point mark. 20 points, 8 rebounds for Jack Cooley today. Well, coming up next for Szolnoki Olaj, they've got a home match in Hungary against Partizan, so that'll be a tough one for them. The next match on the road is a trip to Poland against Szolnoki Olaj.
4 side Christian. I speak days nages 2 and 4. No big pass for you. Deny. Okay. Ajde. Ti si na drugu stranu, gore, na dvojci. Idi tamo još. Ajde.
Kinney, good pass from Kinney. It's an open 3 for Eilingsfield, and he knocks it down. Those are the shots that Ludwigsburg just haven't really given up tonight. It's been really impressive from them, not only on the offensive end, but also their defense as well. That will be a 2 if it goes, which it does. Foot was just inside the line. Well, there have already been 2 matches played in Group E today. Partizan defeated Zielona Góra. Bit of a thriller there, 58-56 in Partizan's favour. And the other match saw the 2 heavyweights really in Group E go head-to-head. Ike against Besiktas, and it was Besiktas that came out on top there in Greece, 88-78. So really good result for Besiktas there. And there's also a match currently taking place also in Group E, which sees Dinamo Sassari taking on Proximus Spiru. And I think they've just started the second half there, with Dinamo Sassari winning the first half 35-32, so they lead just by 3 points or so in that one. The lead is 36 here for Ludwigsburg, as Kinney tries to go himself, tried to bank it in with his left hand, but Brad Losing was there to grab the board, and he's down the other end as well. And I think an offensive foul has been called, which Brad Losing can't quite understand what for. Hopefully we'll be able to have a look why. It's definitely the call, so they have got it back. Kinney. Jason Boone. The pass wasn't great to Jason Boone, he just couldn't quite lay a left hand on it. Just get the impression that perhaps the intensity has just dropped out of Riesen Ludwigsburg here. I think they are fully aware that they've probably won this match, but it is important for them. You never know whether points difference will come into play come the end of the regular season of the Champions League. As Eilingsfield is just going to go and shoot two. Struggled again from the free throw line of Szolnoki. Struggled on game day one against Ike, and they've really not found their straps at all here. And they've missed both again. Not for the first time today. Oh, jammed away by Jason Boone. He's had a couple of those today. A real fan pleaser. Voda throws up the long two, makes it. Much better, just catch and shoot from David Voivoda. Just try and get him into space. 15 points he still managed, which is good effort from him, considering he hasn't really seemed to feature all that often. Just quietly gone about his business, and this was the jam down the other end from Jason Boone. I'm surprised the basket doesn't come ripping off when he jumps on it. Such is the size of him. Tiemann this time very nearly made it, but was just off, and Tiemann was there once again. They're just second to every ball, are Ludwigsburg at the moment. And we're into the final 90 seconds or so. And an opportunity for a three-point play that he makes. And he's 17 points for the game for Johan Tiemann now. Jack Cooley still leading the way with 20. Good pass, he had an open look at a three there, turned it down, and they've turned it over. And in transition, Tiemann slams down the jam. And what a couple of seconds it's been for Johan Thiemann. Well, the crowd have barely stopped as well tonight. They've been banging their drums right from the get-go. And Thiemann was almost in again. Look how frustrated he is there. Winning by miles, but he's still annoyed that he hasn't been able to add a couple more points to his tally. Closing in on the 100-point mark. Difficult three, doesn't go, but Eilingsfield is there to grab the offensive board, and there'll be a 14-second reset here. Voda had it ripped away, and once again the fast break down the other end, no defence in sight, and this time it's McRae who jams it home. And this is turning into a bit of an embarrassment for Szolnoki. They just seem to have given up the ghost a bit here. They're now 43 points behind. And now an offensive foul is called, and things just go from bad to worse for the Hungarian champions. Szolnoki now find themselves in the... We've just got 19 seconds left on the game clock, and presumably Ludwigsburg will just wind down here, which is exactly what they do. And they're already shaking hands, are the two sides. It's been an utter blowout for Ludwigsburg. A mightily impressive performance. They have blown Szolnoki out of the water. And in the end, it has finished 99 points to 56 in favour of MHP Riesen Ludwigsburg. And the fourth quarter finished 29 points to 9. The first and the fourth quarter really doing the damage, but 99-56 in the end is how the match finished. Jack Cooley superb with 20 points. Kelvin Martin led the way on the glass with 10 rebounds for him. Voda finished with 15 points for Szolnoki. Bodashov with 4 rebounds. And Kinney had 5 assists, but it was a real team effort from the Germans. Almost every single one of them contributed. And you'll see here the stats, almost every stat will be in the Germans' favour. They shot almost 70%, sorry. 38 rebounds to just 15 as well for Ludwigsburg. A massive difference there. In the end, the turnovers were relatively similar, 21 to 18. But they were taught a bit of a lesson today, were Szolnoki. There you go, 20 points for Cooley, 10 rebounds for Martin, 4 assists for Tekele Cotton. But finally, Ludwigsburg have themselves a victory in the Basketball Champions League. They've been made to wait 3 weeks. It's been and felt like a long time coming, but maybe that is all they needed just to inspire them onto better things over the next few weeks or so. Let's take a look at the highlights. The big man, Jason Boone, he really grew in confidence as the match went on. Jason Boone, after a quiet first half, his influence became more and more in this second half, and as you can see, he's putting himself about. He's getting into positions in the paint and down under where he's so difficult to stop. Troy Barnes did okay for Szolnoki, shot down a couple of long threes. Really on the defensive end, they just weren't good enough, Szolnoki. There were way too many easy looks like this for Riesen Ludwigsburg. When you've got the likes of Tekele Cotton in your ranks, he just does that in his sleep. Here he goes again, look. No real pressure on the shot. 69% from two-point range did the Germans compared to 45% for Szolnoki. They shot 50% from the arc as well, which is pretty good going. Ludwigsburg 30% for Szolnoki. 75% from the line as well, just 50% for the Hungarians. But the rebounds was really where it was won and lost as well. Massive difference in rebounds, 40 to 17 for Ludwigsburg. Sure, the crowd played their part as well. Made it a real raucous and party atmosphere in here. Jack Cooley was so dominant underneath, and you just get the impression that he is going to be a big player for them. Jack Cooley just epitomises everything that John Patrick wants to do in terms of his work ethic, the way he fights, the way he hassles for every single ball. He's also shown tonight that he can shoot the basketball as well. He's got good touch underneath. And this is when it just became a bit of an exhibition in the final few minutes. The defense just went completely AWOL for Szolnoki. And it finished here, a bit of a rout, 99-56. Do join us again next week for more Basketball Champions League action.